I always wanted to get outside. So when I was young, I used to go out and do the garden. And I remember as young as 14, 15, went on a school trip, went to a factory, and I remember thinking, no, this isn't for me. I don't want to end up being one of these, cooped up inside. So I was one of the few people in my school year to leave school and go into gardening. Well before I was 16, with not even a leaving certificate. But I was just so unhappy at school and so anxious to start this apprenticeship. So I left legitimately, able to leave at Easter. I left at Easter. I didn't even see the end of the year out. And Mr. Armstrong, the manager, was at this point starting to encourage me to apply further, and he felt that I'd got the ability to do that. So with his words, that gave me the encouragement and the confidence to apply for Q. So he knew exactly how I felt, and he could see the potential in me. But he said, you'll have to work hard. You need 5 O-levels to get to Q. We'll give you a damn good reference, because you've been a good apprentice, but you need to get these O-levels. So I did them at night school at the end of a working day, but I worked really hard there because I was just so focused to getting into Q. I didn't really think I'd get in. Hundreds of people applying, they only accept 14 they accepted for our year. So you can imagine how chuffed I was to learn that I got in. A lot of the time when you're doing a job, your mind's fairly clear and unoccupied with worries of life. Yeah, I would say it's very therapeutic, really. I have been a little bit of an anxious sort of guy, really, for most of my life, and I think I found this has helped enormously. I know I couldn't be in a high-profile job. I just couldn't hack it. I know. I think you have to be realistic about your limitations, really. I think this job has probably suited me, my personality. Just brings you a lot of satisfaction, personally. So, yeah, I can't really imagine me doing anything else, job-wise, to be honest.
But you did stray, briefly, for a few years.
I did actually, didn't I? Came out of horticulture. I was at a crossroads and a little bit of uncertainty. Not long my dad had just passed away. And things hadn't worked out at Munich as I would have liked. So I set myself up as odd job gardening for a year or so in Wolverhampton, which wasn't really what I wanted. And so I got chatting to my sister-in-law one night, and she said, have you ever considered changing jobs? Absolutely not. What could I do? She said, I think you'd make a good psychiatric nurse. I think you should. She said, you're good with people. You're good at listening. You're a good communicator. This is what fundamentally we need in psychiatric nurse training. So with that, I decided to come out of gardening and take a leap into psychiatric nursing. I realised ultimately that wasn't for me anyway. Because I was missing the outdoors, missing the plants. And I realised that I wasn't cut out for psychiatric nursing forever. You've just got to be on such good form every day to cope with that, take that, and if you're not, we all go to work on we have bad days, but you've just got to be so good at listening and have so much patience and And it does actually wear you down. You do find it very tiring. Whereas, of course, in gardening, the plants don't really get to you, do they? In fact, just the opposite, really. Some people go to work just for the money, but I couldn't do that. I couldn't go and work just for a good salary and hate it. I would rather work all week in an environment like this and have considerably less pay and have to realise the consequences of that.